I have a new video for you guys because Jamie Lynn Spears is playing victim again. After her sister Britney was trapped for 13 years, you would think Jamie Lynn would be fighting for her freedom. But that's far from what's happening because, in fact, Jamie Lynn is sad fishing for fans after screwing everyone over, including Britney. But on the brighter side of things, it looks like Britney's father, Jamie, might be dethroned sooner than we thought. So let's get into it. As you guys know, there is a full-blown movement to free Britney Spears from her conservatorship. She was placed in this conservatorship 13 years ago by her father, and there's been no one in her family trying to stop him or free her from this mess. That includes her little sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, who's trying to play victim after posting over and over on Instagram. If you guys have not seen my previous videos, definitely go check those out. But today we're going to be talking about some new drama that Jamie Lynn is creating on Instagram. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the recent court filings because it looks like Britney's father, Jamie, is going to be kicked out as conservator sooner than we thought. But let's go ahead and react to a recent Instagram that Jamie Lynn posted on her story where she was crying to her young daughter. If you guys have not seen the headlines, they read, Jamie Lynn Spears cries to 3-year-old daughter after Britney drama. Page 6 reports that Jamie Lynn sobbed to her 3-year-old daughter Ivy in a bizarre post to social media. Weeks after her sister, Britney, said that she wants to sue her entire family. We're about to listen to the audio together, but pretty much you'll hear Jamie Lynn speaking to her daughter, and her daughter replies to Jamie crying, saying, "It'll be okay, Mom. It has to be okay, Mom." And then you'll hear Jamie Lynn reply, "Thank you, baby." The actress actually posted the audio twice. First over a black screen and then later on with a GIF, urging her 2.2 million Instagram followers to turn their sound on to hear her weeping. So it's very much a calculated story that she released. And of course, she's trying to do this to make herself seem like a victim, to seem like she's innocent in this whole conservatorship mess, even though she has been an enabler of her father and this conservatorship, benefiting off of it for years now. So let's go ahead and react to that audio together.
Okay, Mom. It has to be okay, Mom.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Okay, Mom. It has to be okay, Mom.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Okay, so I was going to say I have a little bit of sympathy, maybe some empathy for Jamie Lynn there, because hearing a little 3-year-old girl say, "It's okay, Mom," like it has to be okay, Mom, like that is so heartbreaking to me. But then I remember how selfish Jamie Lynn is. And then I think about how now she's bringing in her 3-year-old daughter into this mess, obviously showing that she's visibly upset, and her daughter's over here reassuring that it's okay. It has to be okay. I just think that's really immature for a parent to do to a 3-year-old, like over here crying and posting it to social media, posting it twice. So it wasn't like an accident. She obviously was trying to get it out there. And for what? To make herself seem like a victim in this situation because nobody likes her right now. And there's reasons why. If you guys have not seen my previous videos, she scammed people out of the Zoe 101 situation. Paul Butcher called her out for this. I mean, her own sister wants to sue her and doesn't appreciate that Jamie Lynn performs her songs to remixes at award shows and things like that. So Jamie Lynn honestly did this to herself, and I think bringing her children into this mess makes it 10 times worse. I mean, I actually hate the fact that she covers her children's faces on Instagram. I mean, if you're trying to protect their identity, just don't post them in the first place. Plus, she posted thousands and thousands of pictures with their faces, so now trying to cover their faces and again make yourself seem like a victim, that you're being attacked here. It's just like, if she would go and say free Britney or would actually stand up for her sister, people wouldn't feel this way, but you can't change Jamie Lynn. Actually, one of our friends on Twitter recently made a thread about how Jamie Lynn has been benefiting off of Britney Spears and that whole condo in Destin. If you guys want me to make a deep dive video into that, leave a comment below. But I do want to bring up the fact that Britney Spears has been posting on Instagram and those posts have been deleted. There was one video where she talks about getting an iPad iPad for the first time.
I got my first iPad today. Sorry about my hair. I've been in the yard. I've been working. But I came to the kitchen. I saw something I ordered, and it is a freaking new iPad. I am so excited. My kids have owned one. I've never owned one. This is just a groundbreaking day. I've always had a little phone, but now this iPad is in my hands, and I feel like my life is changing as we speak. And I'm so excited. Upward bound! Yes!
It's extremely concerning to me that a multi-millionaire cannot go and purchase an iPad for herself when her father, the conservator of her estate, gets paid about $16,000 a month to run her life. There's obviously something very wrong here, and I also think it's weird that the posts have been removed from Instagram. Maybe her conservator team didn't want it out there. I don't know, but she was seen actually walking around with her new iPad, so it looks like Britney has been able to do more recently because of her new lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, who actually filed a petition recently to move a court hearing sooner than before. Originally, there was a court hearing for September 29th, and during that hearing, they were going to discuss removing Jamie Spears as Britney's conservator. Well, Matthew Rosengart feels like September 29th is way too far away, so he actually filed something within the court to go and move the date sooner. So here's the document that Matthew filed, and pretty much he is asking the court and Judge Brenda Penny to move the date sooner. He actually wants it moved from September 29th to August 23rd, about a month earlier, which would be great for Britney. Matthew claims that it's in Britney's best interest to remove her father from the conservator, and that Mr. Spears needs to choose his daughter's well-being first and accept an outcome that does not even ask him to admit fault. They just literally want him to leave. That's something that Matthew has been very upfront about. I think they will pursue charges later on, but he just wants Jamie out of there first. But Jamie isn't budging. Matthew brings up the fact that Britney appeared in the courtroom on June 23rd, through Zoom, obviously, and she told the judge everything she's been going through and how awful her father has been. They bring up the fact that they're trying to appoint a new guy as conservator, this man named Jason, who would do really great at investigating everything. And they also bring up the fact that Jody Montgomery, Britney's temporary conservator, says that it is critical to Britney's emotional health and well-being to remove Jamie as the conservator. Matthew also includes a statement that Britney's mother, Lynn Spears, also says that it's clear that James Spears needs to be removed as conservator, as well as the medical team, who says that Mr. Spears' removal is necessary. Matthew does acknowledge that it isn't that far away. The court hearing is only within 2 months, but they claim after 13 years of this, Britney should not feel forced to continue to feel traumatized, lose sleep, and suffer further. Mr. Spears' presence, so Jamie's presence as conservator, is causing continued emotional and physiological distress. Then Matthew talks a little bit about the financial situation, which is very concerning because they bring up the fact that Jamie's lawyers, Britney's father, has been making a ton, and they charged $541,000 for Media Matters between October and June. I love the ending of this page. He writes, "A conservatorship should be a last resort, designed to benefit the conservatoree, so Britney, rather than a mechanism designed to serve as a tool for the enrichment of third parties. Although a proper conservatorship exists to protect a conservatoree from undue influence, it is apparent that this conservatorship has allowed would-be influencers to take control of the estate and exploit Britney, often for their own benefit. The suspension and ultimate removal of Mr. Spears will be the first step towards rectifying that harmful behavior for these past 13 years. So ultimately, what does Matthew want? He wants to remove Jamie Spears, and he wants to do it sooner. He wants to do it on August 23rd. He also wants to appoint Jason Rubin, who is someone we've talked about before on my channel. And really, he wants Jamie Spears to surrender this state to the temporary conservator appointed by the court. So he wants Jamie to just give in, which I feel like he's not going to. This part right here is really interesting in the declaration. So pretty much Matthew writes, "The testimony of Britney and the above referenced evidence speak for themselves." Matthew actually brought up an instance that just recently happened where Britney wanted to take a short vacation to Maui in late July. He thought that maybe Jamie Spears would go ahead and approve it right away, but he didn't. Matthew also acknowledges that this is a well-earned vacation because she has been working for her hard-earned money for her entire life, but Britney's father, Jamie, and his representation opposed the trip. They deemed it unnecessary, even though Britney is paying for this trip from her estate. At the end of the day, they ended up getting it approved, but they claimed that this caused a lot of stress to Britney Spears and that she shouldn't have to go through this. Just another example that Jamie Spears isn't giving up. Even with this whole mess over here, he still feels 100% comfortable blocking one of her trips and stopping her from spending her own money. I mean, keep in mind, she just got an iPad for the first time. Even though Matthew Rosengart works very hard, the devil works harder. And actually, Vivian had a reply to his ask to the judge very quickly. And in this reply, she spills a bunch of tea that causes a ton of drama. So let's break down Jamie and his lawyer, Vivian's opposition to Matthew's ask. Vivian explains that Jamie Spears doesn't oppose moving the court date sooner, but what he does oppose in Matthew's petition is the fact that this is necessary and urgent, that Britney is subject to harm right now, because Jamie Spears isn't doing anything according to Vivian. She actually claims that the little bit about the Hawaii trip that Matthew brought up was a false statement with vague accusations, and that Matthew's declaration doesn't actually explain the wrongdoing that Jamie Spears has done. So she's claiming that Jamie is innocent and Matthew's just kind of making up these things to make this whole request urgent when it's really not urgent. She does make it clear on the following page that Jamie Spears does not object to advancing the September 29th hearing to August 23rd, but he doesn't like the idea that they're saying that this is urgent because there is no urgency because he's done nothing wrong. This part makes me cringe. So going down towards the bottom, she writes, for over 13 years, Jamie has faithfully served as the conservator of his daughter's estate without any blemishes on his record. I mean, what about the time where he got physical with her son? But whatever. Anyway, she writes that this is not an opinion. He has taken the estate from being in debt, facing tens of millions of dollars of lawsuits, to a current value of well over $60 million. She writes, throughout his service as conservator, Jamie's sole motivation has been unconditional love for his daughter and a fierce desire to protect her from those trying to take advantage of her, which would be like yourself in this situation. In this next bit of the filing, it looks like Vivian is actually trying to discredit Britney's testimony from June 23rd and claims that none of this really happened. So you're using evidence from a person who doesn't know what she's talking about. That's pretty much what Vivian's saying. Obviously, I don't believe her, but she claims that the person who was forcing Britney to go into rehab, take these medications, do all of these things wasn't Jamie Spears because he's been out of the conservatorship as the main conservator since 2019. She claims that the issues regarding Britney's medical treatment are all of Jody Montgomery's fault and that Jamie isn't at fault for any of this, which isn't true. Like, yeah, he's not the main conservator, but he still has to approve of everything. And then you can see in bold and underlined that it was Jody Montgomery, along with Samuel Ingham, Britney's former court-appointed attorney, who admitted Britney into the facility in early 2019. They also mentioned that these two signed papers that allowed Britney to go into this. Remember that this facility was extremely traumatic for Britney Spears and something that she really talked about on that June 23rd hearing, but now Vivian is saying that actually my client Jamie Spears has no part in that, and you're looking at the wrong people. Vivian writes, Miss Montgomery has continued to have control of Mrs. Spears' medical treatment and personal life ever since 2019 when Britney's father was demoted to co-conservator. This part's very interesting. So actually, Vivian claims that Miss Montgomery, Jody Montgomery, contacted Jamie Spears on July 9th, 2021, where she sounded very distraught on the phone and expressed concern about Britney's recent behavior and her refusal to listen or to even go and see her doctors. At that point, Jody pleaded for Britney's father, Jamie, to address these issues. Supposedly on that phone call, Jamie told Jody that he would do anything to help his daughter, but he can't because he's got limited ability and insight into his daughter's medical information. In conclusion, Vivian writes that these issues will be addressed by the court, but they will when they're supposed to be, and we're not going to go over here and act like there's something really majorly wrong when there's not. Keep in mind, she is trying to defend Jamie Spears in all of this. In the declaration declaration, you can see a little bit more about what was actually going on. These are all statements that Jamie Spears signed for that are supposedly true. On line 4, you guys can see that they claim that Jody Montgomery and Samuel Ingham were the ones who admitted Britney into the facility in early 2019. Also, they talk about that phone call from Jody on July 9th, 2021. Supposedly, Jody explained that Britney was not timely or properly taking her medications, was not listening to the recommendations of her medical team, and refused to see some of her doctors. It also looks like Britney's father, Jamie Spears, talked to Jody on the phone about the June 23rd hearing, and it sounds like Vivian and him are going to try to team together and discredit everything she said in that hearing. Supposedly on July 13th, 2021, Jamie received an email from Jody, which she acknowledged their call, but backtracked on most of the details she shared and discounted the need for a 5150. So at one point they were trying to 5150 Britney like last month. Like, what the? We need to get these people out of here because she's just trying to live her life and they're all scheming behind the scenes. Like I mentioned earlier, Vivian's objection caused a bunch of drama, and actually Jody Montgomery's lawyers made a statement in response. In this statement, the lawyers claim that it's not true that Jody and Sam admitted Britney into the facility in early 2019. In fact, that would have been impossible. Neither a case manager nor a court-appointed counsel could have that power. Only the conservator of the person would have that power. And again, that was Jamie Spears in March 2019. Although Jody may have signed some routine paperwork, it was only because Jamie Spears was asking her to do so. They also confirmed that Jody does have concerns about Britney's recent behavior and overall mental health, but they're not going to go into detail because that is private and it should have never been brought up in the first place. They also address the fact that Jamie Spears claims that there was talks of a whole 5150, and Jody says that there was no talks of that ever at any point. The concern that Jody did raise to Jamie during their phone call is that forcing Britney to take the stand to testify or to have her evaluated would move the needle in the wrong direction for her mental health. Jody had concerns about Jamie's recent filings, which were seeking for both to happen, neither of which would be in Britney's best interests. They end off the statement by pretty much calling out Jamie Spears, that they are sad that this telephone call had to be made public, and that Mr. Spears needs to back down and stop the attacks because it's only harming Jody and ultimately Britney. So this back and forth has been an absolute mess, and honestly, I'm really interested to see what Judge Brenda Penny's going to do because we should be finding this out later on today if you guys are watching on Monday. So we're gonna just have to figure it out. Okay guys, so I wanted to update you because Judge Brenda Penny actually came to a decision. Keep in mind that she was going to rule on the petition that Matthew Rosengart put forth, where he is asking her to move the court hearing on September 29th to August 23rd so we can try to remove Jamie Spears as conservator. And I want to give you guys a second to think, what do you think Judge Brenda Penny did? Like, what do you truly think she did? Okay, well, she decided to reject it. She rejected the petition, and it looks like we're going to have to wait until September 29th to remove Britney's father as conservator. So this is another big loss in the conservatorship battle, but we have not lost the war, and there's still a lot to talk about and a lot to investigate when it comes to her conservatorship, but it does make me weary that Judge Brenda Penny is going to be fighting on the wrong side. So sorry to interrupt this video, but I wanted to jump on and update you guys with the latest. Also, something that happened recently was there was a bunch of court filings that were updated and uploaded to a website, a court website. We've actually seen a bunch of these filings, but there are some new ones. So if you guys want me to blast into the past and take a look at some of these old conservatorship filings, let me know in the comments below because there seems to be a lot more available. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below, what do you think about Jamie Lynn trying to play victim? Also, what do you think about like Jamie Spears' response to this situation? Because I feel like he's just going to fight till the very end. But here's my email. I think I mentioned that. If you have any video ideas, email me below. But let's go ahead and open this P.O. Box package item. It's already kind of open because it like was busted in the mail, but it looks like it's from Gina, and she's located in the United States. Actually, she's in the same state as my best friend, so that's cool. And let's go ahead and see what she sent me. If you guys ever want to send me anything, I've got my P.O. Box address listed below, but no pressure at all. I'm so bad at opening boxes. Like, I really just want to tear through them, but I know that's not good. Okay, here we go. You guys can't even see what I'm like wrestling with. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I'm still like taking in everything that I just read. I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, like the whole like back and forth, and now Jody's over here trying to defend herself. Like, I cannot. What are these? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, let's see. There is a note in here, so let's go ahead and check that out. And oh, okay, good. Aw, it's a nice note too. Thank you so much, Gina. I'm hype. Thank you. Okay, let's see what she's got here. Look how ungraceful. Like, oh my gosh, I'm literally an animal. Okay. Hi, Sloan. I've been watching your channel for months, perhaps almost a year now. I mostly watch your thorough coverage of Britney Spears. Oh, you're gonna see this then, Gina. I've been admiring her since the beginning as a teenager. I guess what specifically drew me to her was her energy, how she showed up as a woman and a human being in the world, and her heart. Aw. Gina actually wrote a good amount here about Britney Spears. So what drew me to you was very similar energy. Genuine, authentic, and not afraid to be yourself. Aw, I've watched several other of your videos other than Britney Spears, and I noticed a pattern. Some things in common that we talk about, yeah, some of the dark sides of Hollywood and what some of these celebrities go through, how a lot of them have been silenced. Exactly. I'm Gina. You reside in, I don't know if I want to say your location and everything. You got your husband. You both are hypnotists. Oh, wow. So Gina's a hypnotist, and it looks like she's, oh, that explains some of these cards right here. So she helps clear some of the emotional charges, phobias. Oh my gosh, I have a really bad phobia of FROGs. Oh wow, I've worked with high-class models, some celebrities, and wives of celebrities to help overcome their traumas and harmful things they went through. Also, it looks like she has services for that. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, and also you're into music. Yes, I'm going to have to read this a little bit more thorough on camera because I'm literally going to start stuttering if I start reading it every word. But this is really good, Gina, and I love, oh, end up like Michael Jackson. Oh, we talked about that in a video. So it looks like she actually has her cards right here, and I'm going to go ahead and include the information below if you guys want to reach out to her. I don't know if she does them through like the internet, but maybe she does. So that could be awesome. Thank you, Gina, and I love that you have this talent, or this gift, I guess, more. And, oh my gosh, are these pictures? Oh, a picture of her and her husband. That is so sweet. I love it. I love the dog too. So cute. Aw, thank you so much, Gina. This is really sweet. And what a beautiful written letter. Like, great handwriting too. So let's go ahead and see what she sent me. It looks like she sent me these soap rose flowers things, which are so cute. Oh my gosh. You can smell them too. So these are soaps, but they're rose. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of how Britney Spears had that video where she had the rose in the water. Thank you so much, Gina. I really appreciate this. And I'm sorry I didn't read like verbatim, but I'm going to read it right after this. I've just like, there's a lot here and it is getting kind of late. What time is it? 11 p.m. But I just love that you're opening up so much here. And it also, you share so much about yourself, which is just such a good vibe because I love getting to know you guys. And I love the idea that you have this, like hypnosis. Like I don't even know, like I've never even tried anything like that, so I'm gonna have to check that out. You guys check it out as well. I'll link everything below. Thank you so much, Gina, and thank you for these rose things. I'm gonna go take in a bath with this, maybe calm down tonight. But anyways, I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Bye guys.